Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel, and today's look is all about this gorgeous look. And if you have curls, then girl, this look is for you. The foundation that I've used today is Beauty Blender Bounce, and my shade is 3.50. I love this foundation, but the only thing is this goes dry under my eyes. But this foundation is really good. And the palette that I've used today is Sephora Vivid Earth, and the first shade from the palette is Sand. And using a blending brush, I'm just going to go on the crease line. As you can see, this blending brush is a little bit narrow towards the tip, and as you can see it? Yeah, you can see it. So yes, I'm going on the entire crease line using sand and concentrating more on the outer corner and pulling it out, just like that. And then I'm going to go with Sun Ray from the same palette, and then I'm just going to use a blending brush that is really not that fluffy, but it is a blending brush, and concentrating more on the outer corner and less towards the inner corner, and pulling it out as much as I can, because that's what I want to do. And then going with Terra from the same palette, I'm just going to place the shade, and then I'm just going to blend it into the crease line, just like that, concentrating more on the outer corner and less towards the inner corner, just like that. It's a beautiful shade, it's a beautiful palette. I love this palette, and I will definitely recommend this palette in case you're looking out for one. And as you can see, the brush is a little bit small, but it is a blending brush. Placing the shade and then blending the shade is what I always do, and concentrating more on the outer corner. And then I'm using Fire from the palette. I love the shade, and then I'm just going to place this shade. I'm using a small blending brush, and I'm just going to place the shade first, and then I'm just going to blend it into the crease line and into the other shades that I've used previously, just like that. It's beautiful. I love this shade. I love the whole palette. And keep blending. Blending is the technique to get that beautiful merge of all the shades that one uses actually. And then I'm using Stella Liquid Glitter and Glow, and from the set I have used the shade Sunset Fire, and it's a beautiful shade, and goes well with the shades that I've used from the Sephora palette. And as you can see, I'm just applying it on the eyelid, leaving the crease line and the outer corner, just like that. And then I'm using a flat brush, and I'm just going to spread the glitter on the entire eyelid, and leaving the crease line and the outer corner, but just neatly spreading it with a flat brush, a small flat brush. And then going back with Fire, I'm just going to go a little bit more with the shade on the crease line and the outer corner, just like that. And then Sand again, because it was looking a little bit reddish, so I've just applied a little bit of the sand shade, and just to minimize the redness on the crease line. And then I'm going with fundamental shade from the palette, and this shade goes on the crease line or on the brow bone too. And then going with Ebony, I'm just going along the lash line, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to draw a line along the lash line, and I'm just going to pull it out towards the outer corner using a flat brush. As you can see, the brush is really flat and really small, and I'm going back to the lash line, just like that. And this is how I create a wing actually. So girl, if I can do it, you can do it too. You just need a little bit of practice, that's it. So adding more of the shade, the best part is, in the palette the shade looks really purplish, but when I have it on the eyes, as I have used brown shades and red, the shade really looks a bit like a dark brown. And The intensity and the darkness of the line of the wing totally depends upon you. I really didn't want to go with a really dark black line. I wanted it to be really nice and soft. So yep, it completely depends upon you. If you really want a dark one, you can just use an eyeliner. And then adding more of the shade just to darken it a little bit more. And then going back with Terra, I'm using a flat brush. It's actually a flat, it's a lower lash smudging brush, or it's just called a smudging brush. So I'm just going to go on the entire lower lash line, just like that. And then I'm just going to use a small blending brush and just going to blend it into the lower lash line and the upper outer corner. So yep, so this gives that feathery effect, and blending is really important. And then going back with fire, I'm just going to go on the lower outer corner, and I've used a small flat brush just to place the shade on the lower lash line. And then I'm just going to use a small blending brush and I'm just going to blend it towards the outer corner, towards the upper outer corner, and blending it some more. And I'm going to go off screen and apply my false eyelashes, and this is how it looks like. The mascara I have used today is L'Oreal Unlimited, and I love this mascara. I like this mascara. It's pretty nice, it's pretty decent, it's not too dark, it's not too light, but yep, this is how it looks like. I love those lashes. And just before I forget, I just wanted to mention for the eyebrows. For my eyebrows, I've used Anastasia Beverly Hills Deep Pomade, and my shade is Ebony. Yep. And then I have used the concealer that I have used today is Maybelline, and it's a pretty nice concealer. I like it. I mean, it doesn't dry. It's not too dry for my skin, and it doesn't crease under my eyes. It doesn't crease up under my eyes. So I like it. I'm just using a wet beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend the concealer into the skin. And the technique is to dab and not drag, so remember that. And not to forget, after you apply concealer, you need to apply some loose powder over the concealer. That is really essential, otherwise the concealer will definitely crease up. To warm my face, I have used Hourglass Bronze Light, and the shade is Ambient, and I love the shade. I love Hourglass. And as you can see, I'm just going to warm up that face of mine, and I'm just going to make that face look a little bit more warm, because it looks white right now, and also shaping the face a little bit. So it's really essential to use a bronzer, or if you want to go a little bit harder, you can use a contouring cream or a liquid, whatever. But I like using bronzers. And then not to forget, I mean, I don't forget to shape my nose, and I like to do that. And just using a brush, I'm just going to diffuse the bronzer into the skin. Basically, I'm just going to blend it into the skin, and just make it look like a part of my skin, and that's how it works. And yeah, just use either a beauty blender or a brush, whatever, however you're comfortable blending the product into the skin. And I like to diffuse it as much as I can because I really don't like it to be too loud on the skin, or I don't like any lines on the skin, so I blend it as much as I can. So, and for the blush, I have used Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the blush is called Pink Passion. Now this is really one of my favorite blushes that I have, but if you don't have this, you can use anything that you want to, because blush doesn't matter. If you have anything in pink or maybe coral or peach, you can use it. I also apply a little bit on the tip of my nose. It gives me that natural kind of face. You know, when you go in the sun, you know, you do have red nose or pink nose. You know, so yes, I do that most of the time. And then applying a little bit more blush on the tip of my nose. And then I'm using Laura Mercier highlighter. I love this highlighter. I'm not going to change until I find something new. And this goes on the chin, this goes on the bridge of my nose, and also cheekbones, and also, you know, between my eyebrows, a little bit in the middle of my forehead. See, this is what I was talking about. This highlighter is so beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful. You know, when you apply this looks like this is a part of my skin. You know, my skin is like that. You know, when I go in the sun. And for the lips, I have used Bobbi Brown Burnt Cherry, and I love this shade. I love all their mattes. I'm crazy for these matte shades that they have come out with. And I really love them. And this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys liked this look as much as I loved creating this look for you. I shall see you in my next video. Take care of yourself. Mwah. Bye bye.